home in our islands, in our empire, and indeed throughout the world, except in the abodes of the guilty, goes out to the British airmen who, undaunted by odds, unwearied in their constant challenge and mortal danger, are turning the tide of the world war by their prowess and by their devotion. Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few.
I hadn't seen anything like it before, and I can see it quite clearly now. As clear as I can see you, climbing up, just the two of us, and we were told of 150 plus. That's a lot of aeroplanes in those days. And I looked ahead into the distance, and there it was, like a lot of gnats on a summer evening, coming towards us. And my reaction was, you know, where on earth do we start with this lot? What do we do? And the answer was to go straight in.
The Battle of Britain is now being regarded as one of the iconic battles of history, and I think it's quite true to say that had we not won this battle, because we did win it, the Germans may well have invaded, and life in this country, and in fact around the world, would have been vastly different.
I never thought we were going to be beaten, because when you're young, defeat doesn't sort of enter your mind.
I think my family must have been quite horrified to think that their son had volunteered for this, what was obviously a dangerous thing. On the other hand, my father fought in the trenches of the First World War. He knew what it was all about, and so I think probably a mixture of trepidation and pride.
The papers were showing that clouds were gathering over Central Europe, and everybody was talking about what we might have to do to defend ourselves in case something happened. And I noticed that a lot of friends and so on were beginning to join up. I think my mother was probably rather cut up because she lost her brother at Arras in the First World War. And so she was a bit sensitive about her children joining up. They found out eventually that Dowding or Churchill or somebody had cancelled the postings from the flying training school that were on that day or that week or whatever it was, and we were to be sent straight to squadrons because they were getting rather short of pilots after the Dunkirk.
Those days you joined as an AC2, which was the lowest rank in the Air Force, and because nobody under the rank of sergeant was allowed to fly a plane, I was made a sergeant the next day.
It was about the 9th or 10th of September when I first saw my first German airplanes, and they were fighters, some 109s. We went in to attack them with great excitement and thrill, but unfortunately I don't think I hit anything because it was the first time I'd fired shots in anger.
The first time I saw a German aircraft was when we were on a training flight. We climbed up to about 15,000 feet and received a message on the radio to say that there was a bandit in the area. And we were vectored onto this thing. I'd never fired the guns on a Spitfire. I didn't even know how to work the gun sight. That hadn't yet been explained to me.
We would intercept German aircraft amounting to about 100, 150, 200 aircraft, and we would look left and right of us and see 11 companions, at which time we all said to ourselves, my God, what are we doing? Where do we start?
Well, I think probably the narrowest escape I had was when we went into a crowd of Me-110s, which were twin-engine fighter bombers over the south of England. And I went in and opened fire to attack them, and the whole of my engine blew up in front of me. There were no flames or anything, but I thought I'd been shot. And so I pulled out of the action, glided down. I had no engine or anything like that, and managed to force land. And I was jolly lucky that the thing didn't burst into flames, because I wouldn't be here today if it had done. was Keith and his controllers and so on who controlled the battle. So the battle was, well, it was won at the sharp end by us, but at the back end it was Park and Dowding's planning, pre-war planning and so on, that enabled victory to come our way.
Now, the miracle of the Battle of Britain was that our system was so good that we were never short of aircraft. And if we finish up at the end of the day with 5, we'd be back to full strength by the afternoon of the following day.
And it's only in the last 20-odd years that this has come back, and the historians have got hold of all the facts and figures and so on, and it is now recognized after 70 years as one of the major battles of history.
To pay for us to watch our children play. They'd be so proud to hear us say, tonight, tonight, we will remember them. Let the music play, let the band march in. Let's hold on to each other when the tears begin, and let us pray at evening end, as quietly together we remember them.